I suppose this whole thing about sort of retelling myths. I mean, I suppose you could say that myths are supposed to be retold, or kind of that's the whole point
Yeah,
about myths. I mean,
yeah.
what do you think of that?
Well, obviously, I mean, you have this, and this is one of the things, though, that, and I mentioned the superhero characters. One of the things that I find wrong with major superhero comic strips is they, in a sense, uh, because we know, I think it's Siegel and Schuster created Superman,
Superman,
Bob
yeah.
Kane and Bill Finger created Batman, Stan
Mm.
Lee and Steve Ditko, I think, are what created Spider-Man. They have definite
Kirby
places
and
of
all that.
origins.
Yeah.
I don't think that they make good analogs for modern gods, because, and that's what I did that whole book on, the superhero, with the, set
Well, Jack
50.
Jack Kirby would actually model his heroes off like Thor, right?
Yeah, but there their reason dead for why Thor is there is that, they're actually aliens, that the
Yeah.
Norse gods were actually aliens of some sort. So
Well, it's this whole chariot of the gods bullshit, isn't it?
yeah, basically. But the thing with retelling the myths is you sort of have to do it. You, because we don't know where the myths come from, because myths come from the mists of time.
Mm.
It's better to retell them, over and over again. And it's sort of the eternal cycle of these myths. Ragnarok, and then, come what's the great tree of life in Norse myth, rises again.
Yggdrasil, yeah.
Yeah, Yggdrasil, yeah, Yggdrasil, whatever you want to call it. Or then, whichever Hindu god it is, the flower all is coming from the navel, to reset these things. The problem with a lot of the superhero characters is because we know that Superman, was created in 38, Batman in 39, Spider-Man in 62 or 63, whenever it was. You get these constant things where every 15, 20 years they reset the thing. And so Peter Parker, or Clark Kent, who probably would have been born on, what is it, Krypton in 1920, or whatever it would have been, is still young 100 years later, and that loses it. What they should do, if I was doing a comic book, not that I'm interested, but if I was ever to do a comic book, I'd say you have to let Batman age, and then a new Batman come, or someone display it. That's more realistic for that, because you don't have the true mists of time. No one ever believed in Superman as a god. No one ever believed in, Iron Man as a god. But they did believe in Hera. There were cults of Hera. I was even watching
Yeah.
an excellent little video about Aphrodite, and how Aphrodite changed from, Ishtar to Astarte to Aphrodite, and then how Aphrodite broke into three different, goddesses, um,
Yeah.
and then became Venus. Uh,
Mm.
and so there, it's more organic. The belief system that people actually believed in is more organic than when you have a specific creator.